Hi guys, in this video I'm going to try to show you best as I can how I like to use Anki while I sit down and watch my favorite shows in my target language. I'm going to be using language reactor. If this here confuses you, I have a video on that you can watch in the description. But the first step, of course, is choosing the right content to watch. And as long as the content you pick fulfills this criteria I have on screen, you'll be okay. Comprehensible, it just needs to be within your reading level reasonably. Nothing too complicated for you, needs to be compelling enough. So ideally something you're already interested in. If you're bored in the topic, you're probably not going to be able to stay focused. Rich enough in vocabulary that is integral to the plot. That's how you're going to learn a lot of important stuff. And ideally there is an abundance of this content, and I think the cartoon The Simpsons fulfills all of this really well. I think most cartoons are really good. A lot of sitcoms are good. I like Adventure Time and SpongeBob because I can just watch episode by episode and really, be nostalgic for or preferential for some plots over others. You get it? But once you have actually picked your content, it's time to start consuming it. So I'll enable automatic pause, but you don't really have to have that on. And let's say we're learning new vocab. We are sentence mining for new vocabulary. So let's watch like 10 seconds together and see if we can learn a new word. And there's the automatic pause. Okay, so already we can probably learn a new word together. And let's say the word I don't quite understand. Let's say I understand most of the meaning of this sentence. You all suffer from something in particular. So
Angoisse.
I'll learn the word. And in Anki, before what I would do is I would document the new word in my vocabulary list, right? And I don't think this is the worst thing in the world you can do. See, I have like the context, picture of the context, and a chat GDP note about it, right? The reason I think Anki is better is because this right here is a list, and you kind of have to memorize the list almost to get through it, right? But with Anki, if I hit browse here, here's all my cards. These are one and the same thing. This list here of cards in my deck that I've made, this is the same thing as my vocabulary list. And you don't need to know what you're looking at entirely right now. You just need to take my word for it. So let's actually get into adding our vocabulary, right? So angoisse. In Anki, all I have to do is be hovered over my deck that I created, and I hit add. And this allows me to add new cards just like this. So what I like to do is on the front of my cards, I like to copy the whole sentence. Yes, the whole thing. And I'll paste the whole sentence, and I'll bold the exact part of the sentence I didn't quite understand. So now I have the entire context and the exact part that I'm trying to drill myself on. So on the back, what I like to do is I'll define it. So this is a feminine noun, I believe, meaning anxiety. You can see it's literally right here. You can use word reference. And the next tool I'll use is called ShareX, and this will be in the description. You can see it literally just is a cropping tool. It makes a really satisfying noise. Ready? I love it. But that'll put that in my clipboard for me, and we can just control paste. There, now I have the exact context, and I could put like a ChatGPT note or whatever I want in the bottom. I will record the sound of the sentence, but I'm using OBS right now, so I can't do that for the example's sake. But once you're all done with your card, however you want to set it up, this is how I prefer to set them up. You hit add, and that's it. It's added to your deck, and I will just keep this on my side monitor or underneath the page, and then I'll keep watching until I come across a new phrase I don't quite nail the first time I try to understand it. Does that make sense? So I'll even show you if I hit close. So here, if I hit browse, that's how I pull up the list. And again, here's all my vocabulary. You can see I've made quite a few cards from before. But the premise behind Anki is that you're expected to keep up on reviewing your cards habitually in order to learn them. It is a spaced repetition software. You can put this on your phone too, so what I like to do is I'll edit my cards and watch my content at home and make my cards at home. But when I'm at work and have downtime at work or in the car somewhere, that's where I like to review my cards, and that's really where a lot of the magic starts to happen. So if I click on this deck we added that card to, I can hit study now, and we're going to see a lot of my other cards, but you get the idea. So here's a sentence card. I have this sentence, again the context and the word I'm trying to understand, and having the context helps me understand, of course. But down here, when you click show answer,
J'ai essayé de l'arracher avec ma main, mais je n'ai pas réussi.
There's my audio file. You respond to Anki depending on how well you responded to the card, how well you answered the card. So if you got it correct within the first few seconds, you can hit good. If you didn't quite get it correct or you didn't remember it, you can hit again, and Anki will automatically show you the card sooner until you start to get the card down. I know a lot of people don't use the hard and easy buttons. I stopped using them. But you don't have to just do this on your computer like I'm doing now. Anki is on your phone, so I will do this part on my phone. Literally, this is what it looks like on the phone, you know. Anki is wonderful. I really hope I'm not missing anything. If this screen intimidates you, you can probably ignore this left side and only focus on the right. You know, this is just your editor. A lot of other people have decks that they've uploaded on the web you can use, and you know, sometimes I'll sift through like someone else's like French deck, but really the bulk of my actual learning new content comes from what I make myself, and that will probably be the case for you, I imagine, unless you're like more of a beginner. Then one of these decks will probably help you a lot. You have to keep pressing the sync button if you're gonna use it on your phone, because it syncs your information to a cloud, and then you have to sync on both devices to the cloud. Does that make sense? You can add plugins really easily once you're more comfortable. Anki is a wonderful tool. Replaced my vocabulary sheet. Again, it is sentence drilling rather than just memorization. Go check out some other people's videos on Anki, but I will just sit here and enjoy doing that for, as long as I have time for. But thank you for watching. I hope you could take something away from this. Have a good day.